Hi guys, Olive here. Today I'm bringing you part 2, the final part of my summer book haul. In the first part of this book haul, which I will link down below in case you missed it, I covered all the nonfiction books that I have acquired recently, which actually comprise the majority of the books that I've acquired recently. But in this second part, I want to talk about the fiction books that I've acquired recently, which are not as numerous, but still substantial. The first book I picked up is The Library of Panopticon by Alexandria Nolan. Last summer, I read her work, Starlight Symphonies of Oak and Glass, and I really enjoyed it. This one was about a boat that was having trouble making its way from Detroit to Mackinac Island in Michigan. It was really magical. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it. And so I was looking into Alexandria Nolan's other books that she actually has self-published, and this one was one of them. This is about a young man whose parents pass away, but he finds this book in which there is magic and all the characters come to life and the places are real. So obviously it has magical themes, and I think there's also a cultural history of Detroit in here. Alexandria Nolan is from Michigan, and it seems to creep into a lot of her books, which is really cool to see. Kind of on similar lines, I also picked up Aleph, the Unseen by G. Willow Wilson. G. Willow Wilson is also the author of the Ms. Marvel comics, which have a great sense of humor, so I have high hopes for her writing style in this book. This is a book set in the Middle East, but just like The Library of Panopticon, this is about a young man who gets a magical book that allows him to travel to different times and places. I am always on board for a book about books, certainly ones that contain magic. This next book is the last book that I got from Steve Donahue. He thought it would be funny to send me this. It's called And Quiet Flows the Vodka, or When Pushkin Comes to Shove, The Curmudgeon's Guide to Russian Literature and Culture by Alicia Chudo. This is a book of satire, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it's going to discuss Russian literature and culture in a humorous way. And it's just, I don't think it requires any more words. That title kind of speaks for itself. The next book I picked up is called The Ice Chorus by Sarah Stonich. This is about a woman in her 40s who decides to leave her husband and her old life in Toronto to make her way to a remote village off of the coast of Ireland. From what I've been reading, it seems like we get flashbacks of her former life and then glimpses into her present where she's trying to come to terms with her new life. It seems like this is going to be a very beautiful book. I'm really hoping that it's the type of quietly powerful book that I've come to love so much. The next book is called The Sunlit Night by Rebecca Dinerstein. I've heard mixed reviews about this one. It's about two young people who both have fled Brooklyn in favor of the very north of Norway for two different reasons. One of them is an artist's apprentice, and the other one is burying their father. It intrigued me enough to pick it up from the used bookstore that I found it at, but I have no idea how I'm going to feel about this one. This next one I am super excited about. It's called The Unchangeable Spots of Leopards by Christopher Jansma. From the reviews that I've been reading of this book, it seems like this is a novel broken up into interconnected short stories, and I absolutely loved that structure in The Tsar of Love and Techno, so I'm really interested to see if I will love it as much in another work. Just like The Tsar of Love and Techno, it seems like it's very expansive. It covers a lot of different things, a lot of different people, a lot of different places, but I think it covers the themes of growing up, having kind of competitive friendships, a girl who gets away. I very well may push things out of my TBR to make room for this book. I am so excited to read it. The next book I picked up is one I've been wanting to get my hands on for a really long time, and that book is Blonde by Joyce Carol Oates. Conrad from The Deckled Edge is going to be very mad at me, but I've never read any Joyce Carol Oates before. This is a novelization of the life of Norma Jean Baker, later Marilyn Monroe. As a young girl, I had a fascination with Marilyn Monroe, as I feel like a lot of young girls do. Because of that, I've been interested to pick up this book since I first heard about it. I don't remember where. So I'm very interested to see how it is and to see how I get along with Joyce Carol Oates' writing. The penultimate book in this haul is called A Proper Education for Girls by Elaine DeRollo. This is set in both England and India in 1857. This is the story of two young women, twin girls who are separated for the first time when one of them, who has done something wrong, is sent off to India to marry a missionary. The other girl stays home to live in her father's giant estate and curate his collection of weird objects. The synopsis of this one, as well as the cover, just really caught my attention. Definitely interested to pick this one up soon. And the very last book in this haul is one that I have already read, but just had to own this edition. I am not one for really pretty editions, but this version of Pride and Prejudice was just too beautiful to resist. Not only was this edition gorgeous, but I wanted to own a copy of Pride and Prejudice. I had that giant amalgamated edition of all of Jane Austen's novels. And as I've been going through Jane Austen's work, reading them all for the first time, I am liking them unevenly. I think that's a nice way to say it. Pride and Prejudice has hands down been the one that has appealed to me the most. I absolutely loved it. And this edition is just gorgeous. The edges are this beautiful orange with these little white flowers. You have these gorgeous end papers. And then throughout the book, you have these illustrations. All of the artwork in this edition was done by Alice Petullo, and it's just gorgeous. I am so excited I finally own it. So that was the end of my summer book haul. Those are all the fiction books that I picked up recently. As always, if you've read any of them, have heard of any of them, or have any comments in general, I would love it if you left it in the comment section below. If you'd like to talk to me anywhere else on the internet, all of my social media links are in the description box below. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I will see you in the next video. Bye.